Okay. So. Wiggle! Thank you so much! Oh my god, 4 months! What's happening, Wiggle? Super happy to see you, man. This is so cool. I think... Wait, hold on. Okay, I was having issues with my sound. Wiggle, thank you so very much for the resub, dude. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for spending your Twitch Prime here. It's very, very kind. I know you could literally be spending it anywhere, and you're deciding to spend it here, and it means a lot to me, man. So thank you so much. What have you been up to, Wiggle? What's happening? Oh, boy. Yeah, how was the cooking life? So this is my issue right now, is this. I don't know what to do with this. I forgot what to do to remove this. I thought just sleeping it off was enough, but apparently it's not. Like, we've slept a ton recently, and we're still affected by this. So I don't know. I literally don't know. So that's not good. Alright, let's go back to Fangberry. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, now we gotta equip tons of potions on us. Wait, what? Did I forget to save before we left? I did. Not. I did not. I don't know why, but it loaded a random save from before. Like, how was this going on? Like, what's up? Yeah, so you're preparing for the Nationals. Like, when is that again? Do I have all the things here? I do have all the things here. Okay.
Follow my lead.
Well, then before we go in, since we're here, we'll talk a little bit. Greetings. How may this humble chosen of the great Siren Ray help you? Tell me about yourself. About myself, I wouldn't know where to begin. Tristan pauses for a moment in thought. You know my name, my faith. I follow Siren Ray, and I have traveled from the Padisha Empire of Kalesh to here. What else do you want to know? Forgive me, but from your manner and appearance, you don't strike me as a Kaleshite. Tristan smiles softly. You have nothing to apologize for, truly. I've received my name and appearance from my parents who had come to Kalesh from afar. I never knew them, for the fate had separated us when I was young, so I grew up in Kalesh, raised by the followers of Siren Ray. My home is where my heart is, within the temples of the great goddess, among the wise and generous men that took upon themselves the care of a child that was so unlike them. I learned mercy and patience at an early age, and it is these virtues that have made me the man I am today. Do you enjoy traveling? Tristan nods, his eyes light up. Oh yes, No library and no archive, however large, would have ever allowed me to learn as much of the world as I have in my journeys. It was only outside the temple walls I realized every living being is a world unto themselves, a world where my many contradictions and passions coexist. Each realm leaves its mark on the lives that live there. Only by visiting it, by breathing the same air, walking on the same soil, can you understand its people, what drives them, what frightens them, their dreams, and how they honor their gods. Doesn't being outside the temple makes you uncomfortable? Tushin shakes his head. There are many ways to honor one's god, Shino. It is true shrines play a role in the lives of many of the faithful, but even more find other ways to serve Sarenrae. The Evening Light values good deeds above all else. I cannot stand by and watch evil claim others. Tushin thinks for a moment and raises an eyebrow. Perhaps that is another reason why I chose to go on my pilgrimage, leaving behind the temples of Kalesh. Tushin touches his chest. My faith is in my heart and in my hands. Millions honor Sarenrae in her temples, and my soul is filled with joy when I think of their devotion to the goddess. Nevertheless, my path is a different one. Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Quite forgot to search in the song. Oh, it's me. Oh, okay. Nah, I wouldn't say it would be one of your worst. I'm sure the fact that you're standing there is quite an achievement in itself. Like, that's not the worst. It's... Do you know where you're going next? No, my thoughts were far from it. For my missions here is not yet done. Tushin stares at you in surprise. What do you ask? Do you wish me to leave your lands? I didn't mean to alarm you. That was not my intent. Tushin shakes his head reproachfully but with a smile. You enjoy watching others' reactions, don't you? In this regard, we are alike, although I do not choose such sly ways to achieve this. Let's discuss something else. Forgive me if my stories have bored you. I'm not accustomed to speaking about myself, and in truth, take little enjoyment in it. What can you tell me of Sarenrae? Sarenrae is the goddess of temperance and patience. Solar Flame Goddess teaches us compassion for the weary and mercy to those who go astray. What would you like to know of her? I'd like to hear about the history of your faith. There is much to tell, but I'm afraid I would miss the mark, and I fear I would bore you. Is there something specific you wish to know? How did Sarenrae come to be? Sarenrae is one of Galarian's eldest deities. Once she was an angel that had gathered the armies of her celestial allies behind her. The battle in which she showed her valor decided the fate of a whole world, and in her victory, she was rewarded with divinity. In the sacred text, Sarenrae is shown as a beautiful bronze-skinned maiden, her hair dancing flame. Tushin smiles slightly, but her appearance is not what matters. It is the grace she brings with her touch, healing, and salvation. Tell me about this battle you mentioned. What was the act of valor of Sarenrae? Her greatest moment of glory is her battle against the monstrous Rovagog, who threatened to destroy Galarian. Sarenrae delivered the strike that staggered the horrendous creature and allowed her allies to shackle it. Once the rough beast was captured, the goddess split the earth, and the gods threw the behemoth into the depths. Once it was done, the goddess sealed the pit and commanded her faithful to stay away from the scar that was left in the land. Hey, Emily, what's up, man? Been a little bit long, yeah. Oh no, it would be certainly disappointing, but I mean, like, to say that it was one of the worst birthdays, like, I can't think of a lot of things that could be worse than, you know. But sure, it would be disappointing, of course. Tristan falls silent for a moment. Alas, mortal beings are imperfect. Not even the most faithful among us can always follow the deity's commandments, even when such commandments are meant to save the world and their followers. I, for one, pray the goddess is never again as furious as she was with Gormas. Oh, so Gormuz is like Sodom and Gomorrah. So misinterpreting their goddess's warning to avoid this location, instead believing Gormuz to be a holy city of Sarenrae, people from all over Casmeron flocked there for millennia, but were slowly corrupted by the imprisoned god Rovagog's dreams. Sarenrae continued sending portents and visions to her faithful in Gormuz during this period, but they were ignored and misinterpreted. She finally sent her herald Kohol to the people of Gormuz in minus 3023 AR, but they had been so corrupted that they destroyed him instead. In an act of great wrath, Sarenrae smote Gormuz with her scimitar, destroying it completely and creating an enormous rent in the earth that eventually became known as the Pit of Gormuz. From this great chasm have emerged some of the most powerful and destructive creatures in the world's history, known collectively as the Spawn of Rovagog. Ugh. An error of faith, perhaps a lesson, but it speaks of the danger when one listens to the mortal words and one stops listening to their faith. Sarenrae forbade her followers from coming near the place of Rovagog's imprisonment, but some of her priesthood misread her will and began to preach of a sacred place where the mightiest of temples dedicated to the goddess were to be constructed. The people listened to these sermons and went forth to the lands touched by Sarenrae's scimitar. On the scar that sealed the well, they founded Gormuz, a holy city that was to become the greatest monument to Sarenrae. Unsurprisingly, after the city was built, faithful from all Golarion traveled there to worship. Sarenrae sent omens and visions urging her followers to leave this dangerous place filled with the dark will of the shackled Rovagog, but in their pride, the people misinterpreted or ignored her signs altogether, for they had already come under Rovagog's influence. Finally, the goddess sent her herald to the city, but the fanatics killed them. Realizing the people had turned from her, the enraged goddess smote Gormuz, raising it from the face of the Golarion with a single strike of her scimitar. Tristan shakes his head. Today it is called the Pit of Gormuz, a well of pain and suffering. Tell me about the Pit of Gormuz. Tristan shakes his head. It's a great crevasse in eastern Casmeron. The lands surrounding it are dead, soaked in poison. The Pit of Gormuz seems bottomless until someone dares to gaze into its depths. All who have dared to tell of a strange distant glow, a glow that followed them in their dreams ever since. Throughout all of history, the Pit of Gormuz has spawned creatures, hideous beasts of overwhelming power and driven by only a single desire, to destroy everything they see. Some were defeated, such as the nightmarish Ulunat, whose carapace to this day towers above the capital of Osirian. Others proved too strong to be defeated by mortal hands. Trishan frowns. The most terrible of them all was the Tarask, the Armageddon engine, who to this day lies dormant deep beneath Avistan. I love the Tarask. Have wars ever been waged in Sarenrae's name? Tristan sighs. Alas, yes. Terrible battles were once fought between the followers of Nethys, Norgorber, and Sarenrae in the lands known as Rahadum. To my shame, I must admit that this conflict was started by my brothers and sisters. They came to a foreign land to make way for the goddess's light with sword and fire. That calamity became known as the Oath Wars, a catastrophe that led the inheritors of Rahadum to deny all gods, banning all faiths from their lands. Alas, the mortal vessel is imperfect, and even the pure faith can be distorted by blind ambition. Tristan goes silent for a moment, and great suffering may occur in its name. Okay, what are the teachings of Sarenrae? Solar Flame Goddess is a light of salvation, even to those who have been forsaken by the other gods. She teaches us mercy and forgiveness, for as long as they may be useful to a soul's salvation. Hey, Mr. Vlex, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? I'm doing great, by the way. I'm doing really great. I just woke up. You make it sound like the followers of Sarenrae will try to find good even in a bandit with a knife to their throat. Do not mistake compassion for weakness, Shino. One hand of Sarenrae is shrouded in evening light, the other holds a scimitar. Following their goddess, the priests learn to wield this weapon starting in childhood, and they do not hesitate to use it if a dispute cannot be settled peacefully. Sarenrae preaches mercy, yet her compassion is not infinite. We give a second chance to all who ask, but if they reject it, if they persist in their sins, they will face the goddess's retribution. Are there any undeserving of mercy? Tristan blindly gazes past you into the distance for several moments. When he speaks again, his voice is quiet, reflective, as if echoing his thoughts. Undeserving of mercy. Would even Sarenrae herself find the compassion to... Tristan shudders as if awakening from a trance. Forgive me, your words. They are not easy ones to reconcile, and even priests such as I, we debate them to this day. What is the point at which a soul is irredeemable? Or is it a failing of the priests themselves? These are difficult questions you ask, Shino. Questions wise men have debated for centuries. Does a being that has been tainted by evil to its very roots, that rejects its own salvation, still deserve compassion? Can those compelled to do evil by others still seek forgiveness? There is no easy answers on this issue among Sarenrae's followers. As for me, I believe that every soul carries the potential for goodness within. No matter the crime, the guilty may find forgiveness if they repent and cast off the evil that led to the deed. I believe this with all my heart. Well, I kind of have to go with this one, because that's the closest to my thing. It sounds stupid and pathetic. Tristan's shoulders sags and he averts his eyes. It is a pity our views are so different. I hope it will not stand in the way of our shared goals. What are your duties as a followers of Sarenrae? My goddess strives to see the best even in the dark gods. She never abandoned the hope of their redemption. The priests of Sarenrae follow her teachings, akin to the healing light herself, who emanates warmth and heeds the call of those in need. We aid the suffering in body and spirit throughout Galarian. Oh yeah, I took a nap. No, it's pretty late here too. It's like 6 p.m. or something. Yeah, I just took a nap in the afternoon. Like around 3, maybe 4. The priests of Sarenrae are willing to help anyone, no matter the faith of the one in need. Each plea must be heard. Every misfortune deserves compassion, be it a peasant seeking a blessing for the harvest or a murderer seeking repentance the night before their execution. Sometimes the mercy of Solar Flame Goddess is the last thing that can save one's soul from ruin. We have no right to withhold it from the truly repentant. I'd like to ask about something else. How is Sarenrae worshipped? Many worship Solar Flame Goddess in her temples. Some make the pilgrimage to the Everlight Oasis. But even those who do not serve the goddess directly rarely shun the festivities dedicated to her. The Sunrout Festival, for one. What are the temples like? Sarenrae's shrines are often open to the sky and to the goddess's life-bringing sunlight. Her light fills the temple and shrouds the parish in warmth and grant its blessing to all in need. In Kalash, crowds gather during the services so that all may feel the blessing of the goddess. The most ingenious devices are constructed by some of the faithful to please the goddess. I have seen a temple of Sarenrae which housed a complicated array of mirrors, all to direct the light of the sun to the altar. That's pretty cool. Tell me of the Everlight Oasis. I've never been there, but the stories say it is a wondrous place, sacred to Sarenrae's faithful. The oasis is located in Zelshabar, which lies in Casmaran. Pilgrims from throughout Galarian travels there, seeking the goddess's blessing. According to legend, the waters of the Everlight Oasis are imbued with healing properties, and anyone who bathes in them shall be cured of any ailment. Tristan smiles in thought. Just imagine, a place where people from all around the world come to gather to worship. What stories they must share. What is the Sunrout Festival? The Sunrout Festival takes place on the day of the summer solstice, when the prayers of her flock can reach Sarenrae the easiest. On this day, Kalash blooms with color. In each corner of the Padisha Empire, the people praise their goddess by dancing and singing, setting up fireworks and flying kites. I hope this beautiful custom shall one day reach your lands as well, Shino. Okay. Tell them... yeah, I heard enough about Sarenrae. What brought you to these lands? I've heard rumors that say these lands are cursed and the curses are growing stronger, as if something is granting them power. I could not ignore such rumors. What curses are you talking about? Tristan cocks his head to the side in wonder. Do you not see? Every word uttered in the heat of an argument turns into a prophecy here, just waiting to fulfill itself. And if it were only for the people. The land itself is seething with curses, so ancient their origin are impossible to trace. Take the abandoned temple of Aristel where we met. What happened to it? What force compelled the priests to leave such a magnificent temple behind to the whims of nature? Will we ever know? I myself was never slain by beasts. Fortunately, you came along following Jod and saved me. I owe you a great debt. Okay, well, not never, nearly. You've come a great distance indeed. Tristan laughs heartily. When you look at it that way, then yes. But please do not think that I came all the way from Kalesh because of mere curiosity. I was wondering long before that. It is a custom of our faith. The farther our paths take us, the more people we may help. Why did Jod see you in his premonition? Sarenrae sees all the good gods and goddesses as her allies. Many have fought alongside the goddess against the menace of Revagog, Eristil among them. By offering my prayer to Sarenrae, I'll let her know of my misfortune. In the Temple of the Elk, the merciful goddess did not ignore my plea, but whom could have she asked for aid than Eristil, whose faith is strong in these lands? Eristil had sent Jod as a sign, and you came just in time to rescue me. Tristan sighs. To tell the truth, I was certain my journey was at an end, and those creatures were to be the death of me. You have spent much time here. What do you think the future holds for these lands? These are cruel lands. As I came here, I bore witness to much pain and suffering, but I have seen equal kindness among those seeking to protect themselves and their loved ones. The people of the Stolen Lands are resolute and true to themselves. I admire their strength. Alas, I do not know yet what power the curse that flourish in this land, but I swear I will not leave until we have the answer and the means to cleanse them. You must forgive me for not swearing on Sarenrae's name, but as of late I have troubled the goddess too much as it is, and it would better serve her through action, not prayer. Okay. You called yourself the Chosen of Sarenrae. What did you mean by that? Sorry, that was a mere jest. Other acolytes at my temple used to tease me with that title. This should tell you how pious and devoted I was compared to them. And yet my faith is strong. Sarenrae knows this and protects me in times of great peril. If something ever threatens my life, by her divine powers I am transported to a safe location. So, exactly like Lindsay. Okay, well I should go. Good talk. That was fun.
How may I serve you?
Well, I found the Temple of the Elk and killed the beast there.
Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Tristan told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation.
Well, thank you.
As far as I know, your next target looks to be the Stag Lord himself. With the Temple of the Elk cleansed of evil, the fog surrounding us should disperse to reveal the path to the brute's lair. Of course, magic so powerful is unlikely to disappear all at once. Bide your time. Follow up on other concerns while you wait. I will gladly aid you on your noble quest. Erastil himself foresaw our meeting.
Do you understand the true meaning of your visions now?
I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself. Quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you, and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Tristan is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Tristan and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the Stag God lead you down the true path.
Okay then.
As you wish.
Well, thank you. We'll talk later. And that was a level up. Woo! Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Hold on. Oh man, this is good news. Okay, Rogue level 2, and we're still Monk level 1. Rogue level 2 should bring me evasion against an attack that normally deals half damage on a successful save. He instead takes no damage. Cool. And I get a rogue talent, which is perfect. Cool. Cool story. Okay. All right, so mobility, very important that we reached 3, and now we're never going to put a point in there again, most like. Now, we still have a few points to put in, 5 points in fact. So what we're going to do is we're going to do persuasion, match device, very important. Stealth, even more so. Trickery, and we'll boost trickery to yeah, there we go. I think that's fine. That way we, oh, you know what? Yeah, 1 point difference is fine. I need some bonuses in perception as well, so we'll do that. I think perception is going to replace my mobility, and essentially next level we'll put more points in trickery, we'll do perception, and we'll do the rest of the stuff we usually do. Okay, accomplished sneak attacker. You mean sneak attack damage? Your sneak attack damage increased by 1d6. Oh, that's pretty freaking good. But I think we're gonna go with 2-weapon fighting. What is fencing grace? Oh. Then no, we don't need that. What do you do here? Well, for sure it's 2-weapon fighting. It's like a guarantee, so. Nope. I think it's combat trick, I'm pretty sure. And then we get one of these, and most likely going to be combat reflexes, I think. Do I still have the page up from yesterday? Because I'm trying to follow like a, well, somewhat follow a build. Like I'm not, you know, following it like to the T, but I'm trying to see if like I'm getting mostly what I'm supposed to be getting. Where's my thing here? Oh, so maybe I should go into... into this. I mean, this is a straight pretty big bonus, yeah. Maybe fast stealth would be good.